What is going on, everyone? Today we're going to be doing an exhaust video on the Pontiac G8. I'm going to be switching things up this spring, so I wanted to do kind of an exhaust video just to show people what it sounded like now, and so I have something to compare it to after the new exhaust. This video is going to get quite lengthy, so I'm going to try to timestamp it best I can, but I did just want to bring you the most accurate video and sound possible. I recommend you using the best sound system you have hooked to your computer or headphones, whatever is best. Now, there's a couple different reasons why I'm going to be switching it up, which I'll explain here in a second. But real quick, just some things that affect this exhaust. It's still a stock displacement 6-liter engine, but it does have 1 7/8" long tube headers by Speed Engineering. I'll show a little clip coming up here. Why I'm not the biggest fan of those. They're good, but you just have to fabricate your own oil dipstick tube mounting bracket. So keep that in mind if you're going to go with those. So they're 1 7/8" to 3". There's currently no cats on the car, and it's got a BTR red hot cam, which I think is like the same cam as their stage 2 NA and centrifugal and all that cam. So being catless makes it a lot louder, having long tubes makes it a lot louder, and having a cam makes it a lot louder. So you'll see this setup has like 3 mufflers or 2 mufflers and a resonator, and it's still quite loud when you get on it. So keep that in mind for those of you that want to have like a full 3-inch straight pipe with no cats and long tubes and a cam. Like, that is going to be extremely loud. So without further ado, I'm going to show you some shots of the underside of the car, showing you the dimensions and everything of the exhaust we have on there now. Then I'll show that clip talking about the headers, and we'll get into the actual sound part of the video itself. So this is the outer diameter of the singular primaries. You can see it's 1.9. They're 1 7/8" inside diameter, so that makes sense. Coming down, we've got 3-inch diameter after the collector, and it's 3-inch on both banks, all the way back to this like MagnaFlow. I think it's a muffler. It's either like a straight through muffler design or a resonator that the previous owner installed. So it goes in dual 3-inch, but then it comes out dual 2.5-inch, as you see here. And it comes out, and again 2.5-inch coming into the mufflers, and then coming out of the mufflers. Each muffler, 2 mufflers, has 2 tailpipes basically with tips, and those tailpipes are also 2.5 inches each. So here's a shot of the full system, the way we're rocking it right now. Again, 1 7/8" long tubes to 3-inch collectors into a muffler or resonator of some sort by MagnaFlow, then comes out 2.5-inch duals all the way back basically with the mufflers. When I switch it up in the spring, it's going to be Stainless Works 2-inch primary long tubes with full 3-inch all the way back, and it comes with 1 resonator and 2 mufflers. I have to talk with my tuner yet because I am going to eventually go boost. So I'm going to talk with them and see if I'm going to blow the cats out, then I'm not going to bother putting them on. If I can get by with the cats, then I'll put them in just so I can be nice and legal, but we will touch on that in a different video. So let's get up to the car and start getting a listen here after I talk about the headers a bit. So really the only downside to these headers, because cost is super good, they're really cheap, they're decent size, they're decent design, they make decent power, but I don't know what was so hard about it, but it doesn't have any sort of mount for your dipstick. You lose your dipstick mount. So mine has a little bit of an oil leak out of the pan because it needs a new O-ring at the dipstick tube, but also it's not super secure. I just have it zip tied to this heat sheath around my spark plug wire. You can move it around. It's just like resting against there. So that's the only negative about these headers. And the car is currently tuned on 91 by Chris at Blazing High Performance. They have a ton of Holden, Pontiac, Chevy SS type content on their channel. I'll post their channel down below if you want to check them out. And the temp at time of filming here was high 20s, low 30s Fahrenheit.
75. I would say around 75 here is where the exhaust starts to overwhelm any wind noise or tire noise or traffic noise. 70 and below, it's pretty docile. Even now it's not terrible, but you can probably tell I've had to pick up my volume of my voice just a little bit. Now we'll kick it up to 80. There's 80. Still about the same as 75, honestly. Sitting at 2200, 2250. 327 Camaro rear end. So obnoxious. Look at me in my manual sport shift stick. Behold. Get around these slowpokes. All right, we'll end it with an underpass flyby.
All right, well, if you made it this far, thanks for sticking with me and watching. Again, we'll have a follow-up video here in the spring of the new exhaust setup, and I'll leave you with a very long startup and idle clip to put you to sleep. If this video helped you out, make sure you hit that like button, comment down below with any questions, check out my other videos here on the channel, follow me on my socials, and as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.